Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Oyster Bay Brewing Company. These guys out of Oyster Bay, New York. This is their Imperial IPA Alexa. IBUs, it says here on Rate Beer, are 65. This is a double IPA at 8.6% alcohol. This comes from Rico, my brother. He says on his note here, Oyster Bay Brewing, Alexa Double IPA, a big juicy hot bomb. Oh yeah, that's what I want to hear. Complex in both aroma and flavor with notes of tangerine and tropical fruit. This beer is built on top of a solid malt base that really lets the hop shine through. 8.6 ABV, 65 IBUs. Malt is pale ale, flaked oats, aromatic hops, Citra, Mosaic, Ella, Cascade. It says the IBUs and the ABV are on the can. It said it was canned on 3/28/17. Today is May the 2nd. So 28 second, not quite 5 weeks old. He said he purchased a 4-pack and it was at $14 at Gun Hill Brewing during their Void of Light bottle release event. So he picked this up at Gun Hill Brewing. I don't know why they would have these guys' beers there. Maybe they're in cohorts with these guys here to get a little better distribution. I don't have any idea here. So I don't know. I don't know how big the brewery is or anything like that. And it does the same thing here, that it's distributed through those guys there at Gun Hill. So I don't know. I cannot tell you. And he says the IBUs is on the can. I did not see it when I first looked at it, but that doesn't mean, yep, it's got it right here on the back, 65 IBUs, Oyster Bay Brewing Company. So, big 16-ounce can, and it's got one of these shrink wrap labels on it. It's this big 16-ounce silver can. So, instead of printing it on the can, they've got these slide-on plastic sleeves that's heat shrunk onto the can. So at least they haven't spent a ton of money having the can printed, and they can have these sleeves printed up and apply them to the can. So that saves them a little bit of money, I'm sure, than having a special can printed up for this. Alright, commercial description says big juicy hot bomb. And it says the same thing I just read you, Citra, Mosaic, Ella, Cascade hops. So, we got the ABV, we got the IBUs, we've got the canned on date on the bottom of it, so it's giving you all 3 bits of information on this. Well done. 2 thumbs up for these guys for putting all 3 bits of information on the can. Big hiss. Big hiss on it. Let's get it into the glass. And while I'm doing it, I'll tell you the cuisine is barbecue, cheese is pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, your stronger cheeses. Meat is game, grilled meat, and salmon. Glassware snifter, tulip, oversized wine glass. I got my favorite snifter today. And since it's 8.6, it says here you can cellar it. Don't do that, guys. Don't cellar your IPAs or double IPAs unless you just want a malt bottle. On that pour, about a 1/4 finger of head. And I can see light through it. It is kind of got a chill haze through the big bulb part. It's not perfectly clear like it is down here through the thin part on the bottom of this glass. I can see the light through here, but not here. kind of murky cloudy up on there, but that may even change once I pour the last little bit in here before I go off camera. I'll try to do that. Let's get it to the nose. Big citrusy tangerine, pineapple, orange aroma, maybe hints of mango in there. A little bit of pine. Not a super up in my face kind of hop aroma, but it is there, no doubt. I'm getting more citrusy tangerine sweetness on the aroma. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Little bit of dankness on the taste. For 65 IBUs, tastes more like 75 to me. It does have a little bit stronger bitterness on the back end than the one we did yesterday from Treehouse. But it's not off-putting or anything like that. It's a double IPA, so you got to have more bittering hops to balance that beer out. But it is there. I mean, a lot of guys, especially me, like a strong bitterness on their double IPAs to balance out that much more malt that they use to produce an 8.6% beer. So, pretty nice. It is very, it's definitely not off-putting or anything like that, because I've had double IPAs that are over 100 IBUs, so not bad. Alcohol seems to be very well hidden for an 8.6%. Drink this one at home, because if you drink a couple of these out at a bar, you're going to have your buzz going on, guys. Drink responsibly. Very tasty. Alright, without any further flapping of the gums, looks a lot cloudier coming down the bottom there. Just like yesterday's beer did. That last half-inch pour a lot of times will cloud the beer up. And it's what it's done on this one. Now I can't even see light through the thin part here, so it is it's a little bit darker than your typical orange juice looking juice bombs. It is a deeper, darker amber color. But it is very, very cloudy, guys. So, well, let me sip on this. It's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let her taste it, and we'll come back, and after I've sipped on it for a little while, I might even have to fire up a little stogie to go with this. The wind's been blowing here about 40, 50 miles an hour today, which is unusual for this time of year. Usually once May gets here, we don't get these big wind gusts and stuff, but we're getting them. We've got them started last night, and it's continued all day long today. So it's been very, very windy, breezy here today. And by this time next month, June, July, August, September, you can't get a breeze around here. I mean, it's just stifling hot. So I'm kind of enjoying it. It's still in the upper 60s and low 70s here, so it's still very comfortable outside, even though it's breezy. So I'll be right back, and let's see where this one ends up. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here. Awesome lacing is left on the glass. I don't think it's quite as balanced as it could be. Even though it says that the IBUs are only 65, it tastes like it's a little heavier than that to me. It tastes like more into 75 to 80 IBUs instead of 65. It needs a little bit more of the malt characteristics or the sweet malt to balance it out. I think it's a little heavier on the bitter. They've used a little bit too much bittering hops for this beer, because to me it tastes like it's stronger than a 65 IBU beer. I don't have a problem with that. I like a nice bitterness to it, but it's not quite as balanced as it could be to me. It's my opinion. Just my opinion. But I do appreciate these guys have put the ABV, the IBUs, and the canned on date on there. So that carries a lot of weight with this guy here. I do appreciate those guys doing that. So Very nice beer. I will say it was very enjoyable. I would probably buy this beer if I could get it here, especially with the information they're putting on the can. Everything that we need to know is on the can. So I will give them kudos for that. They're giving us all 3 bits of information that I want to see on an IPA or a double IPA. So, final chug. It is an easy drinking beer for an 8.6%. But it does have a strong bitterness to it, to me. In my opinion, I'd like to see it just to be a little bit more balanced than what it is. Other than that, guys, it's a very, very, very tasty beer. I am not going to give it to A, though. I'm going to give it to B plus. 89 is what I'm going to give it in the scale, even though it's got all the information on it. And that's probably chucking it up a couple of notches. If it didn't have that, it would probably be down in the 85 to 86 rating for me. But since it does have all that information on there, I do appreciate that, and I want to see that from all the guys that are doing this style of beer. Give us all 3 of those bits of information so we'll know. And on top of that, what's not getting the A, I think it's not quite as balanced as it could be. It's a little bit too strong on the bitterness for the sweetness to match up to it. It's not as balanced as it could be. So I'm going to leave it there. Over to Beer Advocate. Not enough people have commented on this beer, so you know, they're a fairly small brewery, especially if he bought it at Gun Hill and didn't buy it at a store or at this particular brewery, if they are distributing it at that brewery. Maybe Gun Hill is brewing it for them. I don't know. I don't have any idea, guys. Over to Great Beer. Great Beer has the same thing. No score. Not enough people have commented on this beer. They need at least 10 people to comment on both sites for them to post a rating, and not that many people have posted comments on it. Maybe it's a new beer. I'm not sure how long they've been producing this beer, first time release or whatever, if they've done it before. Not sure. I don't have that information. Final check-in, we're going over to Untappd. They have it at 3.86, which is their B+. That's exactly where I'm putting it. B+ to me. So we're in agreement on that scale. So if you've had this one from Oyster Bay Brewing Company, their Alexa Double or Imperial IPA, let me know what you think. I thought it was very tasty, guys. Like I said, I would buy this beer if I could get it here. I love these cloudy juice bombs. This one wasn't up to the orange juice looking juice bomb, but it was a unfiltered beer as far as I could tell. So if you've had it, let me know what you think. Come back tomorrow. Let's see what we dig out of the fridge. See you then.